Don't chase women. 8 reasons why you shouldn't chase women. Let them come to you. It is no secret that most men love the thrill of the chase. When they meet a woman who doesn't seem to share their interest at first, they can't help but put in the work to change her mind. Let me be the one to set the record straight. Don't chase women. Let's say you meet a beautiful woman at the bar. You approach her like the gentleman that you are. Give her your best AI Fascino expression to make her laugh, and you score her Instagram handle. You even get her to agree to go on a date with you. But she's giving off that all too familiar cold and hot vibe. She takes forever to reply and never calls you back. Even when she swears she will. She cancels dates with you on the last minute. And she doesn't even try to apologize or reschedule. It is pretty clear that the two of you aren't on the same page. Yet, you can't help but check your phone every 15 minutes, hoping to see her name suddenly pop up on the screen. You can't help but do everything in your power to get her attention. You're chasing her when she clearly doesn't want to be chased. You're overstepping the boundary between desire and desperation. And you're unknowingly manipulating her into thinking that she's doing something wrong for not sharing the same enthusiasm. Don't chase women. Women don't like when they feel as if their no doesn't have an effect on men. They don't like feeling that their own desire doesn't matter when they are faced with the desire of a man. Trust me, there are better ways to approach women. Here is why don't chase women is a great advice. You might think you're doing something when you're calling her while she's at work, sending her flowers 3 times a week to show her that you're still interested, and freaking out on her every time she fails to reply your texts. You might think you're doing something when you're telling her you won't give up on her, even when you notice she doesn't seem interested in all the attention. Trust me, you're doing something, but it isn't something good. Don't chase women. Court them, pursue them, and show your interest in them. But once you throw your pride, your dignity, and standards out of the window, you're setting yourself up for an incredible, damaging relationship dynamic. Even if you do manage to convince her to have a relationship with you, you are setting yourself up for failure. You might not realize that now, but you're creating a situation in which you're always going to be a lesser person in this relationship, begging for crumbs of love. There is a myriad of reasons you should never chase women and why you should always give them the opportunity to come to you. So let's dive in. You might become obsessed with her. Oh, the thrill of the chase. You can argue that most men make the mistake of being caught up in their desire. They ignore the no when they ask a woman if she would give them her number. They laugh off the I didn't have time to call you back. And why do they do that? Because they are too busy focusing on their own obsession with her. They don't have time to stop for a second and ask themselves, does she actually want a relationship with me? More times than not, she doesn't. Trust me, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy who can't take a hint or can't take no for an answer. You don't want to be the guy who continues calling her every single day, even after she said she wasn't sure if she wants to see you again. Oh, you saw it in a movie? Trust me, movies got it all wrong. There isn't a single woman in the world who enjoys being chased by a man. Months after she told him she wasn't interested. There isn't a single woman in the world who wouldn't consider that behavior creepy. Do yourself a favor and remember, don't chase women. Make your intentions clear, make yourself available. Offer her a way in which she can contact you and leave it at that. If she's interested, she'll come to you. You might cause yourself emotional damage. Yes, you heard that right. You might be thinking to yourself, but I'm not in love with her. I just think she's hot. But you're ignoring something incredibly important. You're ignoring the way this entire thing is making you feel. Let's go back to you met a girl at the bar and got her to agree to go out on a date with you. You know, that situation. Let's say the both of you got to go out one time. She didn't feel the situation and she told you she didn't think she wants to see you again. Fair enough. This is the moment where you should hear her out. Respect her decision. And leave her alone. You can always tell her how you feel and make sure to tell her to reach out to you when she feels interested. Doesn't that sound so much better than continuing the chasing? Well, if you do decide to continue the chase, you might cause yourself some emotional damage. You might end up calling her every day, wondering what you're doing wrong, or simply getting jealous over the fact that she is talking to other men. Why isn't she texting me back? Should I text her again? Maybe she's with someone else while I'm planning a romantic dinner for two. Trust me, you don't want to question your worth and lose your confidence because of someone who doesn't even deserve your effort. You might overlook the red flags, looking for a reason why you shouldn't chase women. Here's the thing, when you decide to chase after a woman who doesn't seem to be interested in you, you risk becoming so obsessed with her that you ignore the red flags. She's flirting with the waiter while you're on a date. She's assuring you how she isn't seeing anyone else while she's getting checks from men. I mean, other men, all the time. You're letting it slide because you're too busy chasing her instead of chasing something that actually matters. Be honest with yourself. Would you let those red flags slide if it was someone else? You wouldn't, but you are now because you want to be with her regardless of everything else. You want to be with her because you want to prove to yourself that you can. That's fine, but there are so many things you could do instead. You could focus your time and energy doing things that benefit you. You could work on your goals, better yourself, and become the person you always wanted to be. And once you do that, you will no longer tolerate anyone's red flags. You will respect yourself enough to remove yourself from any situation that you feel you're not welcomed. And most importantly, you will attract someone who will be with you without any chase. You might end up doing too much. There is no doubt that some women love to be chased. They send mixed signals, play hard to get, and charm their way out of every situation. They make you do crazy things just to capture their attention and then they disappear. But there is a line that shouldn't be crossed. When a woman tells you she isn't interested in you, or even when she lets her behavior speak for itself, she's probably doing that because she genuinely isn't interested. More times than not, she doesn't have an ulterior motive. She just wants to move on with her life. You should never, under any circumstances, take that as an invitation to try harder. That's where most men make the mistake. They think they can win her over by calling her all the time, showing up at her doorstep and ignoring every single no she ever said. Obviously, that isn't the best way to approach the situation, or you might end up doing too much. You should simply make your intentions clear, make yourself available, and make sure she can contact you on the off chance she changes her mind. You might encourage bad behavior. Wouldn't our lives be so much easier if we never stumbled upon people who didn't have our best interest at heart? When you think about it, you shouldn't put in everything you have into chasing a woman. Unless you're 100% sure she's worth the chase. She wouldn't be the first to be in a relationship with someone just because she doesn't want to be alone. She might take notice of the effort you're putting into capturing her attention and think to herself, this man would do anything for me. I might as well give him a chance. While that may sound romantic in theory, you shouldn't overlook the possibility that she is just using you for attention. You might end up reinforcing her bad behavior because you're letting her get away with pretty much everything that she's doing. She says she's going to call you, but she doesn't. She promises she will come to Sunday brunch to meet up with some of your friends, but she doesn't show up. You might end up chasing after someone who doesn't exist because you created a distorted image of them in your head. Trust me, if she was the one for you, she wouldn't let you chase after her. She would be with you because she wanted to, not because you spend your time, effort, and energy trying to get her to change her mind. You deserve better. Don't forget that. You might change the way she sees you. Let's say this woman is worth the chase. You don't want to scare her away by showing up at her doorstep with a bouquet of flowers when she hasn't even given you her address. You don't want to call her out of the blue when she hasn't given you her number. And you certainly don't want to make her think to herself, oh my God, he's way too desperate to be with me. There is probably something wrong with him. While there is something incredibly romantic to do everything within your power to capture someone's attention, there is also something incredibly desperate, needy, and borderline creepy about it. She might end up changing the way she sees you if you keep pushing this I have to be with her come hell or high water narrative you have going on. Take control of the situation and show her that you're not the man she thinks that you are. Make your intentions clear. Respect her desires. If she tells you she isn't interested at the moment, and let her make the next move if she changes her mind. Trust me, that is much more attractive. You might overwhelm her. What is one of the worst mistakes most men make when they chase after a woman? You guessed it, they overwhelm her with their advances. Within the first 15 minutes of conversation, they don't even realize they're on their way to Dunsville. I just want her to know I'm into her. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just being myself. I don't want to change. If you've ever said any of these things when faced with a well-intended friend's criticism of your dating skills, you need a wake-up call. While there's nothing wrong with being open and honest about your intentions and desires, you have to draw the line somewhere. You wouldn't go around the bar telling every woman you meet you can't wait to marry her and have her children, right? And the same goes for chasing a woman who keeps giving you mixed signals. It is completely fine to call her every now and then, ask her out on a date, or even buy her a bouquet of flowers. But you should always make sure you don't take it too far. But if you're always calling me to come to your house, damn it, I am not coming, even when I'm interested in you. At the first meeting, hell no. You might end up exactly where you started. We've all heard about the overly romanticized trope that focuses on the happiness men feel when they finally get the girl they've been chasing after throughout the movie. But that rarely happens in real life. More times than not, they end up where they started. Think about it. What makes a woman change her mind after she repeatedly told you she isn't interested? Did she realize your worth in the past couple of weeks? Or did she realize she didn't have a better option, so she decided to settle? Regardless of her intentions, you deserve to be with someone who wants to be with you for all the right reasons. You deserve to be with someone who treats you with kindness, appreciates your efforts, and makes you feel like you don't have to go out of your way just to get their attention. So if she isn't that someone, you should walk away. Have enough self-respect and self-confidence to recognize when your company isn't needed or desired anymore. And learn when to stop chasing women who doesn't want to be chased. And again, I will tell you, don't chase women. Let her come to you instead. And I still remain your girl, Gracious Trauma. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any question, don't forget to leave it down there below in the comment section. I will reply to all your comments. And I'm going to see you next time in my next video. Bye.